Guys, Manchester United players have no value. Listen, it is shocking. It is such a very bad thing to see happening to Manchester United as we head into a summer transfer window. Ineos have decided to take the desperate route because these players cannot be valued. Only three players are safe. Anyone can be sold, but here's the catch. First, subscribe to the United Sport. My name is Webb. Let's get into it now. Here is the thing, guys. As we head into the summer transfer window, it has been revealed that Ineos have decided that they are taking the open approach. They are going to be open-minded about all but three players. Kobe Maino, Alejandro Garnacho, and Rasmus Højlund are the only three players who are not for sale. They are not going to be sold by Ineos. Now, the rest of the players, what Ineos is doing, they are saying, we are not going to put any price tag to any player because these players cannot be quantified. They are not be priced. So what they are saying is, if you're interested in any other player apart from the three I've mentioned, you come and we talk. How much money do you have? Guys, this is perhaps the biggest form of disrespect in the history of football. And it just shows you how terrible. I remember in the last summer transfer window, I was telling you Manchester United players are worth nothing because even Saudi clubs were not willing to come and and bid for any of them. But listen, what this means is that, take an example of, if you have your furniture in your home and you're tired of this furniture, you want to bring in new furniture, but your furniture you also know is overly used, so you don't have any value to attach to your sofa set or your TV. So you're just saying these things are up for sale. What do you have? If someone comes and says, I want your TV, how much do you have? You discuss. If it makes sense, you say okay. If it's too low, you say okay. You either give it away against your will, or you say no, I would rather keep it and wait. That's the situation where we are, guys. The worst thing to be, the worst position to be in as a human being is not to have any value, not to know any value. Now, when it comes to footballers, you are not even, there is no price you can attach to a player like Marcus Rashford. And I've told you guys, with what we are seeing now, how much would you say Marcus Rashford is worth? That's exactly the situation they are in. So they are saying what they are going to do, the approach now is to just say, with the exception of the youngsters, Rasmus Højlund, Kobe Maino, and Garnacho, if you want any other player, Harry Maguire, you come and we talk. You're saying, okay, how much do you want? Do you have? Yes, okay, I have 20 million. Okay, come on, make 30. Okay, let's do 25. We've bought him for 80. Okay, I'll give you. Go to another player. That's a desperate measure because the situation is so bad that these players cannot even attract interest from the so-called small clubs, even in the Premier League. The only few players who might have somewhere to go are aging. Casemiro can only probably go to Saudi Arabia, and it's reported that there are Saudi clubs interested in him. Varane is leaving for free. These Christian Eriksen's cannot still stay in the Premier League, probably. They will also go to Saudi and make money. But the other players who are still in their active age cannot be priced. If I ask you, how much money can you put on Anthony if you want to sell him? How much money can you say Anthony is worth? Yes, you bought him for 86 million pounds, but can you say, I want 60, I want 70, I want 20, I want 30? It's difficult for you to quantify him, to put a price on him. So what they're saying is, you come and we negotiate and say, okay, perhaps they have a partner. They will say, this is the least we can take. We can't take 10 million if we bought someone just 2-3 years ago for 86 million. So that's a situation that Manchester United is in, that Ineos have been forced into. Wow, guys, it's a sad thing, but it's a sad reality, and that's how bad you can think when you have a bunch of people who do not know how to recruit players. So players like Marcus Rashford, they are saying they do not want to come out and say we want to sell Marcus Rashford because they don't know. By the time you say you want to sell a player and you invite bids for people to come and buy them, you must know how much you value the player. Right now, they are saying the approach has changed, and this is now Ineos being creative. They know they are desperate for money. They want money to top on the little they have, the small budget they might have, but they cannot just come out and say, we want 40 or 50 million for Scott McTominay because they don't know how much you cannot put a fee on Scott McTominay. How the mighty fall. How the mighty have fallen. This is just how bad Manchester United has sunk. Guys, the job that this man has got on himself, the job that this man has got on himself is larger than life. It's so huge. It's so huge that we've got to be patient. to see things happening. So as that means that even Andre Onana, by the way, that's what they're saying. Only the three players I've mentioned, even Bruno Fernandes, can be sold because you see, Ineos are saying they want money. So if the player who's going to bring them reasonable money is Bruno, they can sacrifice him. If a club comes and they're saying we are giving you, let's say, 60 million for Bruno Fernandes, would you blame them if they let go of him? They're in a rebuilding phase, but they have no money. The players who are the assets they should be selling are not worth a penny. So, and then most of these players were used as collateral. Then some of them are on long contracts. They are earning big, crazy wages. So, to correct the mess that Manchester United was thrown into, they have got to support. They're supposed to make certain sacrifices. They're supposed to bend so low. Ineos is supposed to bend so low, and it may not make sense for anyone. It may not make sense for anyone, but only those who understand and appreciate the situation, accept it, and say, okay, we want out of this situation. How do we get out of it? What a job that Sir Jim Ratcliffe, Sir Dave Brailsford, Omar Berada, Dan Ashworth, and Jason Wilcox have got on their hands. It's going to be an extremely difficult job. It's now beginning to show. You're beginning to see it. You might think these Glazers just relinquished this football just because of your pressure. The mess was so deep. The mess was so deep that if again that surgery that guy Ralph Rajnik spoke about, the proper heart surgery. This is it now. It's beginning to happen because when have you had a club come out and say that we are not going to we don't want this amount for this player. We don't have, there is no clause that we're not talking about clauses. We just want come with what you have and we discuss. Come, you put it in your daily life scenario because I think it happens to all of us where you have a property, you need money, but your property has lost value. You also know it, but you need money. It's what you have to sell. It's what you have to get the money you need. So anyone who comes with the little they have, you discuss. Unless someone's giving you way too low, and you can't take it, and you can't be you sacrifice and say no. But in most cases, you're going to end up selling that property so cheaply because you don't have a price attached to it. These are footballers of Manchester United who do not have a price, who do not have a value. So Man United players, majority of them, more than 90% of them, have no value. Ineos needs money. We are going into a transfer window where there is even a Saudi market that we know. Ordinarily, if your players had any bit of skill or value on them, Saudi leagues would come and pay crazy money. But you see, even with the Saudi league and the Saudi market available there, we are saying our players have no value. We shall take whatever comes. If you are lucky, and some Saudi clubs come and they are willing to give us reasonable money, then for good enough, we can raise some funds. If not, guys, we are going to sell players for 10 million, 7 million, 15, maybe the 30. That is how, that's where we are. And I'm not here just, guys, to just threaten you and make you tremble and stuff, but that's where we are. That's the desperate situation Manchester United is in. That's how deep we have sunk as a club, that we've had these players, and these are the players we're expecting Eric Ten Hag to turn into world beaters, to compete with Man City, compete with Arsenal, to compete with Liverpool, now Newcastle, Tottenham, Aston Villa, West Ham is emerging, to Europe. These are the players that we expect. Players we cannot attach a figure to. In this day and age where players are so expensive, players with the least skill are so expensive, United players cannot be given value, cannot be valued. Guys, it's scary. If you think about it, it's extremely scary. That's where we are. We are unfolding the story of Ineos, and now the proper rebuild of Manchester United is just about to start. Honestly, when the transfer window opens like this in the summer, you're going to see drama. I'll be here, God willing. I'll be here to give it to you every day. That's why you've got to subscribe. Become a member if you have to, because the stories are just getting started. You know how the summer transfer window is the real deal in football, not even the season. Trust you me, it's going to be one like no other for Manchester United. I'll catch you later. Subscribe.